Hello, Moxie Sister. I'm Cheryl Kaiser, the Moxie Empowerment Coach. And last week in the episode on the blog, I talked about our saboteur. And the saboteur shows up and slows up our lives. And I'm going to continue today and the next couple weeks to talk about this and dig in a little bit more. So the saboteur is actually the ugly cousin to the imposter. And I think we're all familiar with the imposter, where the imposter shows up to tell us we're not good enough, we're not worthy enough, we're not, it gets us very discouraged. The saboteur shows up when your mind is weakened. You're tired, drained from the day, maybe you're just waking up in the morning. Those times when you're not taking care of yourself, as you know you should, and maybe even influenced by that glass of wine. Now, the saboteur's job is to trip up our Moxie. She will tell you little lies, which, with a tired, influenced mind, will make perfect sense. And we begin to kind of believe what she's telling us. And we think she has our best interest in mind, but she doesn't. So think about it. Can you name a few times when you've, done or believed things, agreed to something that as you're doing it isn't in your best interest, it's not your best decision, or maybe just not your best yes? I know I can think of a bucket load of them for myself. Then your excuses begin. That's the saboteur's nature and her goal. She will have you fooled into thinking she's true, she's trustworthy, she's some kind of ally, and it's all in that conversation that goes on in our minds. But secretly, what's happening is she works from the inside out to sabotage any of the good or progress that we've already accomplished or are working toward. And she'll have you believe that conversation in your mind are truths. Gee, I'm really tired, I'll stay in bed. But the reality is, they're actually the lies. And all of these begin to mount up as obstacles that then we see as standing in our way of succeeding. She is going to lure you into temptation with words and mental images that offer your feelings and your weaknesses kind of the path of least resistance, and a path that really only holds you back from making the progress in really any area of your life that you need to make progress in or are already working on. Now, you'll also notice the closer you are to succeeding or having the momentum, the ongoing momentum toward what you're working for, is she'll work harder just to justify her lies. And she then gains strength and boldness by having you think you're helpless against her. Okay? And she'll always provide you those excuses, such as this is just how I am, or I'm not a morning person, or gee, I can't help it, or gee, a famous one, I just have no self-control when it comes to fill in the blank. I have a bunch of fill in the blanks for that one. So I ask you, is it really a case that you come up with these excuses, you have these excuses, or are you simply listening to her and taking the path of least resistance? And if you are listening to her, are you finding you're regretting each time you give in to the excuses and to her voice? See, she's not our friend. She's your saboteur. So I challenge you this week, really notice when your saboteur is showing up to lead you astray. Make some notes for yourself, maybe about how you feel, what's going on, what time of day, and what the challenge is that you're facing. If you did listen to her, how did that work out for you? Are you making progress then, or are you just feeling held back and regretful? The next week, we'll dive in a little bit more into the saboteur and how she affects our lives, and as well as our prosperity and our goals. And by keeping track of what I just mentioned, when she shows up, you'll have a way to fight back. So now, if you would like to see how I can help you with your saboteur and how she shows up in your life, I encourage you to schedule a chat with me at levelupyourmoxie.com. Be happy to chat with you about it. Ask questions in the Moxie Sisterhood. Post your thoughts with the blog here or in the Sisterhood. and let's start the conversation about how the saboteur shows up in our lives. Moxie sister, I wish you an incredible day. I'm Cheryl Kaiser, your Moxie Empowerment Coach, and watch out for that saboteur, and I'll see you in the sisterhood.